In this video, I will show you how to set up a TradingView strategy with JSON formatted alerts to send via webhook to a TradersPost futures strategy. I'll show you how to subscribe to the strategy and send those trades to your broker. Before we start, I wanted to show you how this will all look when we're done with the video. Starting from our TradersPost account, we have our futures strategy. I've named it Momentum Futures Strategy. There's one subscription, and there's one paper broker. If I click back on strategies and then click signals, you can see that 4 signals have come through already: a sell, a buy, a sell, and a buy. If we click the buy, we can see that we were previously short, a buy came through, closed it out, and went long, and we lost $16 on the trade. Looking over on our TradingView account, we're running this on the 15-second chart for this demonstration. TradersPost is not a high-frequency trading platform, so we don't advise running anything on a time frame smaller than the 1-minute chart. But for this demonstration, I'm running it on the 15-second chart so that you can see many alerts coming through. You can see that there are 4 alerts in our alert log. This can be accessed on the right side of your TradingView window. Clicking the log tab, we can see the 4 alerts that line up with our 4 signals here. And you can also see that this started at 2:02. This is when this trade came through. 2:04, 2:07, and 2:09. If we click our alerts tab, you can see that we have one alert called Momentum Alert. It's running on the Momentum strategy, which is a free strategy inside of TradingView, and I'll show you how to set that up in a couple minutes. It's running on the 15-second interval. Inside of the message, we have our default strategy, JSON. And in the notifications tab, we have this sending to our strategy webhook URL, which can be found by clicking webhook inside of our strategy dashboard. My biggest piece of advice when you are following along or when you're doing this yourself on your own strategies is that if this is running in TradingView, your TradingView alert log is your source of truth. If the alert log does not make sense, TradersPost will not work. So when we're starting and you've created your alerts and you're inspecting them in the log, if you have multiple alerts coming in all at the same time, if you have buy, sell, it's never going to make any sense inside of TradersPost. So I always advise people to spend some time inside of TradingView to make sure that your alert log would make sense. I joke with customers that if this was not being sent to TradersPost, if this was being sent to someone that was sitting next to you at a desk, could they follow along? The trades, as I see them here, they have a couple minutes between alerts. This goes from a sell to a buy to a sell to a buy. This particular strategy is what we call side swapping. It's selling and then buying and selling and buying over and over and over again. And when that pushes to TradersPost, we take care of all of the details. We will exit one side and go the other side over and over. That is how it looks. We have our 4 alerts. They're being created from TradingView inside of our one alert in TradingView with our strategy JSON. Webhook URL is sending it to our strategy inside of TradersPost. Now that I've showed you that, I'm going to delete everything in TradersPost and TradingView, and we're going to start fresh. Okay, from a completely empty TradersPost account and a completely empty TradingView layout, we're going to create a futures strategy and have the trades push from TradingView to TradersPost to our TradersPost paper broker. If you don't have anything in your TradersPost account, this is what your strategy list will look like. If you already have strategies created, that's fine. Just kind of avoid the things you've already done and follow along with me, and we'll be able to create our momentum strategy. Clicking the strategies link on the left side will create a new strategy by clicking this black button on the top right corner. We're going to call it Momentum Futures Strategy. The asset class will be futures, style is systematic, and we're going to leave everything else checked off. These 3 options are a little bit confusing because we're allowing auto submit, but when we subscribe to the actual strategy, you still have to enable auto submit. So when we're setting this up, when you're following along, just leave all this defaulted and you'll see why in a little bit. We're going to click save. This next page is our subscription defaults, meaning the settings that we put on this page will be automatically applied to our strategy every single time that we subscribe to it. For sides, we're going to click both bullish and bearish. If you only wanted long trades, you would click bullish. If you only wanted short trades, you'd put bearish. For this illustration, we'll put both. We will allow side swapping. Side swapping is where if you are going one direction and a trade comes in the opposite direction, it's going to automatically swap to the other side, and you'll see exactly how that works. Asset classes futures, trading window, we're not changing that. Position size, we're not going to change that. You could override your position size here, or you could override it inside of the JSON, but we're not going to touch it. Entry order type, I am going to change this to market. For futures, especially with prop firm accounts, your best bet is to put market. It's completely up to you. The only downside with a limit order is that it could not get filled. If you're in the testing phase and you really want to just be rapid fire testing this as quickly as you can, change this to market, because a market order means that the orders will automatically just fill. We're not going to be sending a limit order, and if the limit doesn't get hit, it doesn't fill. For testing purposes, for our video now, we're going to be putting market. We're not changing anything else. We're not putting a take profit and stop loss, although you could add those. There'll be other videos and other documentation if you're trying to set up a take profit or stop loss. We're going to click save and connect to broker. I don't have a broker in this account, so we're going to create TradersPost paper account. We're not going to change the name of it. We'll click connect to a strategy in blue. We'll click momentum future strategy, press create. And now the settings that we just created in the subscription defaults will come over to this page. And you can see that these are the ones we just chose. The only thing that I'm going to change here is clicking auto submit. We're going to save it and we're going to enable it. Going back to the strategies list on our left menu, we can see that we have a strategy called Momentum Futures Strategy with one subscription inside of it. The subscription is here. The broker is here. This is how TradersPost works. At its most basic, this is what TradersPost is. A strategy gives you your webhook URL. A strategy is a house that is going to receive a piece of mail that you're sending from a source. We got to put the address on the envelope. That's what the webhook URL is. When we have a trade that gets sent from TradingView or TrendSpider or wherever your signal is, the first step is getting that webhook URL in the alert so it sends to your strategy. And then when the trades are coming in, you subscribe to the strategy. If you wanted multiple brokers all on the same strategy, you just continue to subscribe to it over and over and over again. This is what we've created inside of TradersPost. Inside of TradingView, we're going to come over here. I have a completely blank template. The strategy that we're going to be placing on the chart is built into TradingView. It's just called Momentum Strategy. So we'll click Indicators on the top of your screen. Momentum Strategy. You can see that this has placed this on the chart. Those same 4 trades as we saw before are back on the chart. On the right side with the clock icon, we'll click Alerts. There's no alerts in here. There's nothing in my log. The next step, we're going to be creating this alert. We'll click the plus sign. Under Condition, we'll select Momentum Strategy. We're going to leave this same as chart, 15-second. If you're not on the 15-second chart, or if you want to follow along directly, put this on the 15-second chart. For expiration, I'm leaving this open-ended. Under Message, the alert name, I'm going to call this Momentum Alert. This message is automatically populated from TradingView, and if you send it to TradersPost, it'll error because it's not in the format that we need it. Going back to TradersPost, if we click Dashboard, you'll see Webhook on the top right. We click that, and we'll not only get our webhook URL, but also the default TradingView strategy JSON. So we're going to copy the TradingView strategy JSON by clicking this. Go back over to TradingView. We're going to delete the message, paste it in. Under Notifications, we need to make sure that the webhook URL is filled in. So if we click it, now there's an area for us to paste in a webhook URL. Where does that come from? Back here. So if you missed it 2 seconds ago, click Strategies, click Dashboard next to the strategy that you want to send trades to, and then you'll click Webhook on the top right and copy. Back in TradingView, paste in that webhook and press Create. Now you can see that we have a momentum alert, strategy alert inside of our alerts list. And now what we have to do is just wait for a trade to come in. Okay, so we had our first trade come in, which was a short. If we click the log tab, you can see that all of those variables were filled in by TradingView. The ticker, the action, the sentiment, and the quantity, price, time, and interval. So let's go back into our signal list. And you can see this is how the trade came in. Now we'll wait for our next trade. Okay, our second trade has come in, and it's a long. You can see on the log, we have the buy, long 2. We click back into our strategy list, and then click signals. Now if we click here, we can see that we were short. We exited the short, and we went long. And we lost $4. And that is how it works. So as I'm sitting here waiting for the trades to come in, I realized one thing. For futures, it's a little bit different than our other products, because when you paste in the default strategy JSON, it's going to automatically fill in it's called the continuous symbol, MNQ1 exclamation point, which is fine most of the time. It'll fill this in. If you have the alert placed on the continuous symbol, it'll send this to TradersPost. TradersPost will pick the current contract and send the current contract. See how it says ticker MNQ1 exclamation point, but the trade was actually put on the MNQZ contract, which is the current contract. That's fine, and that works most of the time. But when contracts are rolling, there's a period of time where the current contract is almost unsynced. In TradersPost, we have the dates that we go off of the CME group. In Project X, in Tradevate, there may be periods of time where the contracts are different and it can create issues. So what we advise people to do is hard code the contract. What does that mean? It means that it's up to you to always have the current contract inside of your alert. If you're trading only a couple futures products, this shouldn't be an issue, and it's something that you just need to be on top of. Put the date inside of your calendar of when these products roll, and you can check the dates on the CME Group's website. But inside of TradingView, and this is the same thing as if you were inside of Project X, you can hover your mouse over the name of the symbol and click this 3-dot icon, and then click security info, and it'll tell you what the current contract is. So if I wanted to hard code this contract, instead of using the ticker variable, what I would do is, if I check it again to be safe, click security info, the current contract is MNQZ 2025. I'll copy that, X out here, and I'll delete everything inside of the quotes on the ticker area and paste in this symbol. And if I save it, nothing's going to change except the fact that now this alert will send over MNQZ 2025 every time. 2 things to know. This now means that I can't reuse this same alert with multiple products all at once. So I can't have one alert and use a watch list inside of TradingView to send the same alert to gold and MNQ and oil all at the same time. You'll want to have your alerts be specific to the product that you're trading. So this one is set up for MNQZ. So when this contract rolls, I will simply double click my alert, go into message, and let's, we'll just change this to whatever the next contract is, and you'll just save it. Right now, it's Z. It sounds complicated. It's really not. You just have to be aware of the days that these contracts roll, and putting the current contract in your alert is super important to make sure that we're all on the same page between TradersPost, Project X, Tradeovate, TradeStation, all of the companies, all of the brokers that support futures trading. You want to make sure that you are sending the current contract. So the other thing to keep in mind, the TradersPost paper account broker does not have futures data. What does that mean for you? It means that when you are inside of a trade and the trade's open, a position's open, if you click your dashboard, the P&L is wild. So we're short currently 2 contracts, and because there's no futures data, it thinks the current price is $0, saying that we're up $103,000 on 2 MNQ contracts, which is physically impossible. The TradersPost paper account is fine. It's okay for testing out executions. You can't have stops or take profits in the TradersPost paper account. There's no futures data. I advise customers to use a demo paper account on Tradeovate or TradeStation, or if you have the means to purchase a cheap prop firm evaluation from like Apex or something when they're running a sale, that's the best way to make sure that you have data, your trades are being logged, and you have a record of everything, and there's analytics and everything like that. But the TradersPost paper account is fine. When you're not in a trade, when it closes the trade out, you can see the profit and loss. You can see the prices that you sent over from TradingView. But when you're currently in a trade, it can be a little off-putting. And we get a lot of questions about this where people say, how can I be, it says I'm down $999,000 or something. It's just because when you are in a trade, the current price is listed as $0. And there's no way to get around that other than adding a broker with data like TradeStation and going into your TradersPost paper settings and selecting, there will be an area that says market data source, and you can actually change that to TradeStation. But if you have TradeStation, you're better off just creating a demo account and running your futures strategy on TradeStation. So those are the 2 things to consider. 1, hard coding your ticker inside of your alert, so that's always the current contract. And 2, there's no futures data with a TradersPost paper broker. If you add Tradeovate, if you add TradeStation, if you add Project X, you won't see any of those same issues. But those are the main questions when people set up a quick future strategies. They go, my P&L is like crazy, or yeah, pretty much that's the big questions that they have. This is how you set up a futures strategy inside of TradingView using the momentum strategy on TradingView, which is free. We've created an alert. We have alerts firing into the log. We've hard-coded our ticker to the current contract. We've created a strategy inside of TradersPost. We've subscribed to the strategy. We added a paper broker. And we can see all the signals flowing through. If you have any questions about future strategies, about any other thing that you can do inside of TradersPost, crypto, stocks, options, futures, the absolute best way to get support is by clicking this chat button on the bottom right corner of your dashboard. You can send in a message. We have an amazing AI chatbot that can help you with 99% of your issues. If it can't help you, you can ask to speak to a human. All we ask is that you give us as much information as possible. Send over screenshots. Send over the URL of the signal, which is on the top, just your browser URL. If you're on a page and this page doesn't make sense, send us this URL. So when you've talked to the AI and you ask to speak to a human, if one of the people from the team at TradersPost comes in to help you, we have everything that we could possibly need. And we're very, very good at explaining things. We can send over videos. We can send over explanations. that's how it is. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions, as I said before, hop on chat on the dashboard and we'll help you out. Thanks so much.